And in today's video we're installing and insulating the floor, and as I'm not a woodworker I'm gonna ask for a helpline. I've been a mechanic all my life, and if you ask me to make something in metal it will be accurate to the millimeter, but if you ask me to make something in wood it will be off by centimeters and all crooked. So that's why Matt is gonna help me today. So if you want to know how we insulate and install the floor, stay tuned. Alright, I just arrived at Matt's place. He still lives in Boyshot, in the town where we used to live. He has become a very good friend of mine, and he has lots of knowledge on how to build wooden stuff. He's used to building boats and all of that, so that's really useful knowledge for me because there's not a straight end in this whole van, and he really knows how to handle that. So let's tap into that and start building today. Hey Matt!
Hi.
This is Matt, my friend. Alright. Let's do this.
Ready?
Yeah. The ones who made this floor did a proper job. So we are trying to get the floor plate out, but as you can see this is one big plate that is attached with this profile. It seems to be like an H-form profile. We cannot seem to pull that plate out, so we will have to find a solution to get the two pieces apart and to make sure that we can attack the floor. And I had a look underneath and there's no rust in there, just a little dirt and dust, so that's good news.
Oh yeah, it's Velcro. Okay, that's different. Maybe get a grip and try and... Right, now we flip it up on its side.
Okay.
And then slide it apart, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Matt, I think you'll have to take the camera in a minute, because otherwise the people will think you're all doing all the work and I'm just here to sit down.
Oh, that's how it was anyway.
So what we're doing is making sure that we have support where we want to make inserts to make sure that we can attach cupboards and bed and all of that to the floor, because you don't want anything moving inside the van. So that's what we're currently stacking out, is the structure for the floor. Because we have this odd shape, you really have to push it hard. It's kind of cold today, so it's not ideal to get them into a good attachment. So that's why I'm using this, so that I can apply a good pressure on the full surface and make sure that it sticks in all the curves of this box. And this is really going to reduce all the rattle, because I noticed when riding around with this bear, you really hear a lot of stones and other stuff flying around in here. Definitely a good decision to make this rattle free. Up.
It proves that he does work. Yeah. We're just putting all the battens in, ready to put the insulation in. And what we've done, we've marked off on the drill bit. Can you show them, Vinny, with the tape? With the tape that we put on there, so we know exactly how deep we need to drill, so when we put the self-tapping screws in we don't puncture anything underneath the vehicle.
Vacuum it out and nice one. So we got the structure right. Now we know before we attach it that we definitely have everything in the right place, and we'll just go for it. Let the good times roll.
There, block there. Stop squeaking. Stop any movement on the wood against the metal framework. as you're going over lumps and bumps and up and down hills and round and just the general in Belgian roads. Just help stop squeaking, give it a bit more rigidity, less clatter, properly. Ooh, that's glowed as well. It's coming up. Yeah, it's on the edge, so it's balanced, if you know what I mean. Right, unscrew it.
We're starting to lose some light here,
Not a problem.
but we're still motivated, so we're gonna get this thing in for today. Definitely the woodwork. We're getting there. Good progress today, so
Very good progress.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
So the main thing is to put some thinking work into this so that you don't have to redo anything afterwards. Just thinking about where you're going already gets you a long way, so always use the head before you use the hands. Yeah, I know why. There's like an edge there. There's a thicker edge here. Yeah, and there's double metal. That's one in. For the floor we are using PRI boards. These are really dense insulation plates that are needed because we want to walk on the floor without having like bumps or dents. And because of that, to get a nice stable floor, we are using the PRI boards. And this looks like that. For the ceiling, I'm using 50 millimeters because we have a lot more space available there. And the floor is 30 millimeters because there's still a wooden plate in between and there's a wooden floor that goes on top of that. And I don't want to lose too much space in the height. So going with the 30 millimeters for the floor and the 50 millimeters for the ceiling.
Too small.
So we're now covering all the wood so that there's one big barrier all over. Now this is already sealed, but the wood is not. So we just put some tape on top of all the seals and cracks so that everything is sealed up and that we have a nice clean barrier all over the floor before we put the wood in. Woo! Yoo-hoo! We're in the van for the first night. It's freaking cold and I'm gonna sleep here. I got my sleeping bag, I got a few blankets from Matt, and we're just gonna go for it and see if this insulation is doing us any good. So let's tuck in there. Alrighty, waking up to this view. I had a good night's sleep. I did have to take one of these blankets inside the sleeping bag because there's no heating in there and there's still some openings. So it was cold, but I survived, and you definitely feel the difference with the insulation being in here. It's a lot more dry, dense, and definitely gives you some comfort. So pretty stoked on this one. So I still have these wooden panels that were standard on the van, and I'm gonna put them all back in to cover all the insulation so that it stays in place. So we now have the protection on there. When we put it on, it won't squeak and we don't get any damage to the van. So let's go. Currently we're putting in the skeleton for the walls. We finished the plates on the side that keep the insulation in place, and now these battens, as you can see, will serve as attachment points for all the other furniture that will go in, and the bed and stuff. And I actually am using hardwood for these because this will carry some weight, and in the places where I don't have too much weight, we use a lighter wood to keep the weight of the van down. So definitely looking good.
Yeah.
Right on. So we're getting the skeleton on, and there's gonna be some cupboards hanging here. So that's why I really wanted the hardwood, because this can take a lot more weight than softer wood. And then we're gonna line out the window, and we're almost set for the walls.
Old floor that was in there, with the original floor, is in one piece. It's got a transition bar in the middle. So what we did, we took it out, we laid these sheets out on my patio, so we had the same volume area, and then we put the other one on top, and we've made a template so that this, once we cut this out, this will go on top of that floor to give him double strength and double insulation. So jolly good.
All right, the last piece of the puzzle. Yep. I hope it fits.
Yeah, so do I.
Go to the tap. Just a bit. Yeah, not getting in there. I'll have to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Woo, look at that! Oh, look at that! We're now labeling where the wooden battens are underneath the floor, which is really important because we don't want to screw into the insulation, but into the battens. So we mark them on the walls where they are, and now we're lining them up on the floor so that we can put the screws into the correct place. It's like a dance floor!
Hey.
Nice one, man.
Nice one, bro.
Look at that.
Excellent, right. Wow.
Loving it.
Yeah, me too. Fantastic.